This Avodah, this message, I think is going to be a little bit of a challenging one for a number of people. But again, we could turn every frustration into a fascination, every nisayon into a nasiya. So I remember when I lived in London, I worked in helping small businesses develop their business. And I remember once going into a business with a couple of chaverim, and we were trying to help out a business. It was a small business of about 20 people. And they had a brainstorming session. I think it was like every Monday. And it was very interesting because they went round the table. And in the middle, there was a person who constantly was negative about everything that had been expressed. And then at the end of the session, when everybody opened up and shared, again, this person was constantly negative. So, what would be is that he really changed what should have been a brainstorming session, all ideas welcome. He shut it down. He shut it down. And it was very fascinating to watch because really, this person, when they started to open up their mouth, the room changed energetically. And we asked afterwards, why do you do that? You know, we've done this before, we've tried this, it hasn't worked. Okay, and Tachlis again, we mentioned this a number of times. We're constantly trying to protect ourselves from hurt or from putting in extra energy in something we think may not work out because we're limited in our energy. And it's this that this person was relating to. It was very fascinating. Also within their life, they had a number of issues that were similar to this. But as well, I suggested to this person, I think it could be even something deeper in our society. Why? Because consistency is rewarded in life. In society, consistency is rewarded. You're so consistent. Consistent builds trust. Consistency builds respect. Consistency builds a loyalty, commitment. Wow, very good. And change, when we speak about change, change is met usually with pain. Change is usually met with, you know, I mean, we can think of all the words. You're not consistent. Change is met with pain, change is met with discomfort. And again, consistency is met with you're honest, you're trustworthy. And there's something very deep to say here because when we live life, the truth is we want to be balancing up in the right way, in the right ratio, consistency with change. And to have that mindset. And we said to this individual, you know what? In the next brainstorming session, think of the word loosen up. Make pretend the idea that you are hearing can work. And actually sit at the end. You're going to share last. And you're going to hear each person's idea. And inside your mind, you're going to imagine it works. You're going to imagine it works. You're going to think about how it has worked. And you're going to be the end of the idea like, wow, that was amazing. Yes. And it's very fascinating because it really, first of all, I sat with this person each day until that meeting just to prime that person, but it revolutionized the way that he lived. He still had that side which was critical, which is healthy. We like that. Yet he was far more optimistic, happier, and hopeful. And when it came to his, when it came to his turn to share, he started off by saying, wow, that was really great, everybody. That was really special, which he'd never done before. But inside his mind, he saw success, 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 success. And then after he went through that, then he stopped and he shared. And it was a completely different experience. And a lot of the time in our life, we're so quick to criticize, to shut down. We're so quick to share, you're wrong, and this is why you are wrong. And a lot of the time, For this person, we asked, well, what's right? What are your thoughts? And he didn't have any thoughts. He knew to shut down. He knew to show it was incorrect, to be cynical and critical, but he didn't have thoughts of himself. And again, like anything we're speaking about, we do have a control over the way we think to the best of our ability. Obviously, everything is Yad Hashem. And for this person, they chose this Avodah they chose it. They ended up choosing it deeply and gracefully. They were at the end of the line when presenting ideas, and each idea they thought about, they imagined, they make pretend. And I think it's a really good practice. It's a very healthy practice. Somebody says something to you, if your first thoughts are nonsense, no, pretend it's MS. Make a switch in your thinking and pretend it is true, and explore that for a few minutes. Now, at the end, you may still think it's incorrect, but the energy qualitatively is completely different. When you can say to somebody, when you can share to that person who just shared the idea what their idea is, so this is what I've heard from you. This is what I've heard from you. And then you could think about how that idea is correct for a moment. Let's pretend the idea is correct. Let's play with that thinking that it is correct. Loosen up and open up to a new version of reality where that which you heard, which you originally disagreed with, in or within a certain amount of time is correct. And notice what happens. Then afterwards, if you wish to say your thoughts, it's done from that background. It'll be softer, it comes out softer. And maybe, who knows, maybe Taka, they are correct. Maybe you think, you know what? Okay, my ego was in the way. My nefesh was in the way. My nefesh was trying to protect you. My nefesh was trying to protect me. So think about that. Loosen up in your thinking and pretend for a moment what the other person is saying is real and it's correct. Think about it. Again, you may still disagree with it, but the energy is a different energy. So until the next message, experiment and experience and let me know your findings. Be'ezras Hashem, Chevra, we will live with hope, we will live with gratitude, and we will live with resilience.